Good evening. It's 7 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Time for another session of In the Lab with Tracy Gibbs. Thanks for joining. Hello, Valerie. Good to see you. Well, I'm not seeing you. Good to see that you've joined me anyway. Linda Kelly, how you doing? I'm going to give it just a minute here. We've got, I guess I need to let's get a few pages in order here tonight while everyone joins on. Annette, Christy, how you doing? Billy Morgan, good to see you've joined. Hello, Sylvia. Spoke with Greg earlier today. Looks like things are getting on fire for our regionals. I think I'll go ahead and start with that. I want everyone to be sure that you have registered for one of our regional conferences coming up. These are so important. I emphasized last week, Tuesday, so I'm not going to reiterate. But look, if you're building a business in this company, and also if you want to learn more about the products, if you want to meet the owners of the company in the entire executive team, face-to-face, then you have got to be at one of the regional conferences. We've made them as easy as possible to attend. We've tried to centralize them as best as we can around where large portions of our partners are living. So for everyone on the West Coast, we've made it Salt Lake City. For the central United States, it's Kansas City. And for the East Coast, it's going to be North Carolina. Contact our corporate office to get details. But they are in April. Yes, April, May, and June. We'll be having those. April 20th in Salt Lake City. Oh boy, don't quote me on the May. I think it's May 17th or May 18th in Kansas City. And then June, somebody help me out here. Is it June 7th in North Carolina or June 8th? One of those dates. Sylvia, you can post those here on the feed. Well, let's get started. Again, this is Dr. Tracy Gibbs. I'm the Chief Science Officer for LifeWise. This will be my final part. So part 4, training about our amazing product, the One. We named this product the One because from a nutritional standpoint, the One is the only product you will ever need from a nutritional standpoint. Now, if you've got special needs, for example, if you've got extreme amounts of pain or inflammation, then I highly recommend that you take the One plus our amazing Restore soft gel capsules, which, by the way, I'll be doing our training on this product next week. But for pain and inflammation, take the One plus Restore. If you've got or need cognitive enhancement function or just improved brain food, you could take the One plus our Clarity in the dissolvable oral strips, these little oral strips right here. If you need extra immune system support, take the One plus Shield. I've got our Shield over here, right there, another dissolvable oral strip. So look, there are specialty products out there that I highly recommend and that everyone should be taking. But when it comes to nutrition only, your vitamins, your minerals, your phytonutrients, enzymes, probiotics, the omega fatty acids, the One is the only product you'll ever need. All right. Last week, I talked on the benefits of probiotics and the amazing properties of just this little. Look at all of these ingredients here, guys. This is the ingredient list. By the way, I just took a phone call on this today. A lot of people say, well, why didn't you add vitamin D or why didn't you do this or that? These vitamins right here, you guys, are not additions. Okay, I didn't add anything. This is the ingredient list. This is a food product. What's in these foods is written right here. And I'll read it carefully so that you understand this. And please, please, please share this with everyone so that they don't think that we just added a bunch of vitamins to this product. Because look, this is a supplement facts panel. This is government regulated. What we write on the bottom and on the front, that's all marketing, okay? We decide that, and as long as we follow certain laws, then we can write anything we want right here. I was talking to a gentleman today about a company that just says, oh, we're all organic and we're whole food, and our whole food contains all the phytonutrients and all of this and all of that. And I'm like, where's it written on the label? You claim that it contains phytonutrients. Well, write one of those phytonutrients on the label. And they don't do that because they haven't tested for it. The fact that this is on our supplements facts panel means we have to do third-party testing, because see that right there? That's NSF certification. NSF certified means that you are third-party audited, okay? So these vitamins have been tested to be found in these nutrients. So this is a blend, a whole food blend of red algae, sesbania, guava, holy basil, Indian gooseberry, rose hips, nutritional yeast culture, lemon peel extracts. That blend of fermented whole food products contains the following ingredients. All these vitamins and minerals that are listed here. And if you check out this panel, they're all over 100% of the recommended daily allowance. Of course, that's what I was looking for in the formulation. When I gathered and assembled these whole foods together, I wanted to be sure that they would test for all of these specific vitamins and minerals so that we could call this a whole food multivitamin and mineral. That should be written on here. Well, it just says complete nutritional food up here. So please don't ask me the question, well, why didn't you add more vitamin D? Because have you ever seen a vitamin D tree or bush out there? No, they don't exist. Have you ever seen a vitamin C tree? No, it doesn't exist. If you just add vitamin C, you're using a synthetic isolate. If you just add vitamin D, you're using a synthetic isolate. So I can't add or take away anything on this vitamin and nutrient panel right here on this side. What I can do is I can add more foods or take away more foods that would increase my nutritional content, okay? So that's this side of the panel right here. I mean, it's all one big supplement facts panel, so we're third-party audited on all of our label claims right here because we are NSF certified. Last week, I talked about the amazing probiotics, just this little tiny section right here. The week before that, I talked about our amazing super vegetable and super berry blends. So if you need to learn more information about the one and all the benefits of the one and all the ingredients in the one, then go back and watch last week's video and then my prior week's video so that you'll get all of the amazing information that's found just on this product. So think about this, you guys. I talk for about a half an hour on this product each evening. So far, you have an hour and a half of information just on this product. And by the end of tonight, you will have 2 full hours of training just on one product. All right? So let's dive into the meat. It's not meat, it's a plant. One of the best plant sources of omega fatty acids in the entire world. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the wonderful, amazing benefits and the history behind sea buckthorn. A lot of people think because of the name that sea buckthorn grows by the coast or by the sea. And that's just not true. Now it can. There are commercially available sources that can be grown almost anywhere. It's a very hardy plant. However, what makes sea buckthorn so unique and what gives it so many antioxidants, what makes it secrete so much oil is the fact that it's grown at an extremely high altitude in the Himalayas. Many of you don't know this, but as a plant scientist, as a pharmacognosist, that's what I am, sometimes the harsher conditions the plants grow in, the more phytoactive chemicals are found inside of them. Now, I don't necessarily mean harsh environmentally. It could be harsh from a zoological standpoint. So, for example, if there's a plant that thrives in areas where lots of other animals try to eat it, then that plant may have developed over time some very hardy properties and some very amazing phytochemicals to prevent the animals from eating it. We know that's the case for some very toxic plants out there that are toxic to mammals. But when it comes to beneficial plants, for example, what we're talking about tonight, sea buckthorn oil, it grows at altitudes of over 12,000 feet. In fact, it prefers altitudes over 12,000 feet. So this very harsh climate means that this plant has to produce a lot of oils to keep it from freezing. Because we all know that water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. Every calculation I do is in Celsius. For those of you who don't know, my schooling was in Japan. And so for me, like the Celsius scale is so much easier than the Fahrenheit scale. And that water boils at 100 degrees. So at over 12,000 feet, it's constantly around 0 degrees. So no plants would be able to thrive in that environment unless they produced a high concentration of oils to keep them from freezing. And the sea buckthorn is one of those amazing plants. Now, the sea buckthorn plant has over 190 bioactive phytonutrients found inside of it. Not just vitamins and minerals, but phytonutrients. We'll talk about those a little bit later, but I want you to know, first off, right off the top, it is the world's richest source of omega fatty acids from the vegetable world. There is no other plant that has more omega-3, omega-5, 6, 7, and 9 than any plant in the world, all right? Now, there's a special omega fatty acid in sea buckthorn oil that is of the highest concentrations, and that's omega-7. Omega-7 is renowned for its hair, nail, and skin benefiting properties. It has a lot to do with hormonal health. We'll talk about that more in details. In fact, I'll be citing some clinical studies. But it helps your body produce a lot of collagen and elastin too, which this product goes hand in hand with our Radiance that we just launched last month for healthy hair, skin, and nails, and an increase in collagen, as well as all the other things I trained on. I believe 4 weeks ago I trained on Radiance. Now, the nickname, it's called the holy fruit of the Himalayas, directly translated from Tibetan to English. It's really literally means the holy fruit of the Himalayas. But I want to give you an interesting fact about its Latin name. The Latin name, hippopathe or hippotaphe, derives from hippo. And hippo is the Greek word for horse. A lot of people think it's, hippopotamus as well. That hippopotamus was given its name because for some reason, some Greek guy a long, long time ago thought a hippo looked like a horse, I guess. But either way, there is a history behind sea buckthorn oil and why it contains this particular Latin name. And it's simply because when Alexander the Great was conquering far into the Indian and reached the Himalayas, he was told by the locals about the amazing benefits of sea buckthorn oil because the ancient people of the Himalayan areas would feed their livestock, especially their horses, sea buckthorn oil. Alexander the Great started using it on his war horses. Later on, Genghis Khan used it for his war horses because it gave them enormous amounts of stamina, as well as nice, soft, and richer furry coats so that their horses could endure the harsh climates and the winters in the Himalayas and then in the northern areas of India. So it's kind of got an interesting history there. I'm not saying you should go out and feed the one to your horses. I'm just saying that when it comes to use by mammals, it's got a rich history for its amazing health benefits because of the numerous amounts of phytochemicals, antioxidants, and vitamins and whatnot. So let's start off with just, I guess I'm going to give you the 8 most clinically documented benefits of sea buckthorn oil out there. And I'll cite some of the clinical references. First and foremost, let's just look at HPLC studies of sea buckthorn oil. HPLC is a analytical method used to analyze nutritional content of certain foods. Sea buckthorn is extremely rich. When you look at gram weight of the actual fruit, we call that nutrient density. The actual weight versus the total number of nutrients in the fruit. It's a very nutrient dense food. In fact, it's one of the most nutrient dense foods out there. It's got vitamins, minerals, and over, like I said, 190 different bioactive compounds in the plant. Particularly, it's rich in vitamins A, vitamin C, vitamin K, and vitamin E. Now, vitamin K in particular, we're getting lower and lower on vitamin K in our diet simply because of our overuse of the soils, planting the same soils. Typically, vitamin K is found in dark green leafies, but recent analytical studies of dark green leafies, especially those grown in the United States, have very little to no vitamin K simply because our soils are depleted from the trace minerals, and so the plants can't produce vitamin K naturally, so it's not found in them anymore. But let's talk a little bit about one bioactive compound out of those 190. That's known as phytosterols. Phytosterols, so this is a well-known phytochemical that's used for heart health. Sorry, I have to think about what claims I can and can't make here, but phytosterols have been shown in clinical studies to balance and benefit cholesterol levels, meaning that it can increase the HDL or the healthy cholesterol levels and decrease LDL. So it helps that healthy ratio of HDL to LDL. I was just talking with one of our partners here, I guess it was last week Thursday or something. It was just a day or two after I did my last week Facebook Live. And they said that they've only been able to afford the one from LifeWise, and so they've been taking it faithfully since we've launched the product. And since then, their cholesterol levels that were always extremely high, and they had been on statin drugs for, that their doctor had told them that they could no longer or choose to take the statin drug if they want to. Now, if you know anything about doctors, especially cardiologists, very few of them are keen to taking you off of a statin drug. But this particular doctor, basically because of several blood draws on this particular partner and them having consistently good cholesterol health, they were able to come off of that. Now, I'm not making a claim that taking the one only can reduce your cholesterol levels to healthy levels, but there are studies showing that sea buckthorn oil has the capability of doing that. And I think that over time, through steady use, it's a distinct possibility that something like that could happen for you. It definitely happened with this partner. So let's talk a little bit about these 8 benefits. First and foremost, there was a study published in August 12th of 2021. It's in the NIH website, so go to nih.gov. You could type in benefits of sea buckthorn oil. You'll come across this study, I believe. But it published a study on sea buckthorn oil citing its benefits on protecting skin from UV radiation exposure. They had taken lifeguards from different parts of the country. I guess it was 3 different universities who participated in this study, and given 2 grams of sea buckthorn oil daily to these lifeguards, and then tested for collagen, elastin, and keratin levels, which degrade greatly when your skin is exposed to ultraviolet radiation from the sun, getting more than a couple hours a day of sunshine on your skin. A little bit's good for you, too much is a bad thing, but they showed that the benefits of sea buckthorn oil were able to maintain healthy collagen, elastin, and keratin levels in the skin of these lifeguards. It's a pretty cool study. You can research that if you want. On January 14th of 2021, again, NIH published a study on phytosterols. This is one thing I was talking about with maintaining healthy cholesterol levels. This particular study showed a significant heart health benefit in reduction of harmful cholesterol levels and softening of the arteries leading to the heart. That's so important, you guys. We call that arteriosclerosis, when the arteries harden due to free radical damage. So you get lots of different free radical causing agents in our environment, right? UV radiation from the sun, pollution from our environment. Stress can cause free radical damage because your own body produces a lot of free radicals when you're overly stressed. But these free radicals tend to do damage at the cellular level of all of the cells in our body. They cause your cells to harden. When your red blood cells harden, it's called poikilocytosis. When your artery walls harden, they call that arteriosclerosis. And when your arteries are hard and they're not soft and pliable, plaque and fats and things like that aren't digested or processed well, calcium deposits, things like that can actually stick and adhere to your arteries. Also, you can get thrombosis. Platelets could stick to your arteries easier, because if your arteries are soft and pliable, as your heart beats and as your blood pressure pumps, these arteries can flux like this, and it prevents things from sticking to them. But when they're hard and they don't move, plaque and whatnot can stick to them, and you can get blood clots easier when you have hard arteries. So this particular study showed that sea buckthorn oil had significant heart health benefits in reducing harmful cholesterol and softening of the arterial walls. So pretty cool study there. Another study I want to cite, the third benefit here of sea buckthorn oil, was it was shown to balance healthy blood sugar levels. The Department of Biotechnology at the University of Barcelona, Spain, ran several studies in 2019 regarding the omega fatty acids found in sea buckthorn oil. Now, many of the studies, many of the benefits that I'm going to cite here come from this particular study. So if you can research that and find it, it's an interesting read. But they showed, among many of their amazing findings of what sea buckthorn oil can do, the omega-7 in sea buckthorn oil showed remarkable ability to reduce blood glucose levels in type 2 diabetics. Now, that was only a 1 gram per day. I thought that was a really interesting study because, by the way, we happen to have 500 milligrams in one packet, okay? So, again, if we were to follow this study precisely, you would have to take 2 of those little oil capsules. Let me show you that. Here's our little packet of the one. On the back side, you've got that little sea buckthorn oil, that nice little red capsule right there. So 2 of those capsules per day is all that they used in this study, showing it significantly reduced blood glucose levels in type 2 diabetics. That's pretty cool. Now, if you're not type 2 diabetic, just think of this as your maintenance dose, all right? That same study showed that an increase in NK cell activity. Now, if you don't know what your NK cells are, it's called, NK stands for natural killer cells. Those are your T cells and your B cells, part of your immune system. They're the natural killer cells that kill viruses and bacteria that invade your body. So boosting your NK cell activity would help your body fight off invaders, all right? So that study showed an increase in NK cell activity and an increase in wound healing time when subjects took at least 1 gram or more per day of sea buckthorn oil. Again, very interesting. Just 1 gram per day increased wound healing time. It's pretty interesting. Maybe I'm experiencing it myself. Just the other day, man, I sliced up my hands. Sad news. Many of you know that I have a great big army truck. It's kind of the love of my heart. I sold it the other day. And I had to, charge up the batteries and do some things for it. And I really cut up my hands. That was 3 days ago. And again, you can almost see there's like no problems. I was amazed at how fast they healed, but maybe it's because I take the one every day, maybe not. But either way, it did show an increase in wound healing time when subjects took 1 gram or more of sea buckthorn oil. In July of 2003, so this is quite an old study. We're going back over 20 years now. This is a study published by the World Journal of Gastrointestinal Health. They showed that 2 grams, now this is higher than what we have in our product, but 2 grams of sea buckthorn oil had an increase in liver markers among those with cirrhosis of the liver. So an enlarged liver or liver disease, they had an increase in healthy markers versus a placebo when taking 2 grams of sea buckthorn oil. A widely studied benefit number 6. Sea buckthorn oil has been known to alleviate symptoms of menopause. 78% of our partners at LifeWise are women. Okay, so for you ladies out there, if you or have friends who are in their postmenopausal or even premenopausal years, take a look at taking the one. This goes back to that study from the University of Barcelona, Spain, their biotechnology division, showed that taking, again, 1 gram of sea buckthorn oil alleviated most symptoms of menopause. Interesting. Again, the same study showed number 7 benefit, reduction in dry eye. Yeah, this is something maybe I need to increase my dose on then, because I do get dry eyes quite often. Now, it could be that I live in Utah full time now, and I used to go between Hawaii and Utah, and in Hawaii I never really had a dry eye condition. In Utah I do, because it's really dry here. But either way, if you live a dry, arid climate, I might want to up my dose to 1 gram per day so I can match this study. But there we go. There's my dry eye problem maybe solved right there. And then number 8, I've already stated regarding horses, but this particular University of Barcelona study shows that it can give humans fuller and thicker hair and better skin and stronger nails. So there's my 8 benefits, you guys, of sea buckthorn oil. I hope I've tried to keep it interesting for you tonight. And just going back to this packet again, we have now covered every little section. And there's our sea buckthorn oil section right down there, showing that we have 350 milligrams of sea buckthorn oil, my bad, that contain omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. One of the highest sources of sea buckthorn oil can be found only from sea buckthorn that's grown in the Himalayas. And that's where we source ours. If yours is not Himalayan sourced sea buckthorn oil growing at altitudes higher than 12,000 feet, all of this information I mentioned tonight is out the window, because again, plants that thrive in extreme conditions are what produce these higher amounts of oils and higher amounts of phytochemicals. If it's commercially grown in some plantation somewhere in California or whatnot, it's not going to give you any of these benefits. Sourcing is important. I need you guys to remember that. I need you to share it. You just can't find this stuff anywhere. I have spent years and years and years developing my sources. I can name them from my heart. I know their representatives. We meet at the major trade shows. These guys I consider to be my friends, which is why I source from them, because I've spent most of my adult life looking for the best sources of ingredients. So when I talk to you guys about ingredients, just know, well, I don't want you to know. I follow a rule, trust but verify, all right? I want you, go ahead and quiz me on it. And hopefully, I give you guys my sources, not maybe the names or where I buy from, but I can tell you where they're grown. I can tell you how they're processed and how they're harvested. And I can back it up with certificates of analysis and the fact that we are NSF certified here and get third-party tested on our ingredients. In fact, just today, I was back and forth with the quality assurance team from the NSF certified facility going over things that we needed to do in order to meet label claims and specifications and things like that on this product. So this is a constant quality assurance maintenance program that we have to do at LifeWise, you guys, for all of our ingredients. So I hope you can appreciate the amount of work and time that goes into each one of these products. And when you're doing comparisons with, you know, a $20 vitamin or something you can get on Amazon, just don't waste my time asking me to compare the two, because it is a waste of my time. Read the supplement facts panel, watch our training videos, and then ask yourself, how does it compare? I don't need you guys to be scientists, but I do need you guys to educate yourself, and I need you to be aware of the benefits and the sourcing differences in our products versus others, especially if you're building a business. Don't rely always on me. I get lots of questions every day, people sending me photos of their vitamins. Hey, how does the one compare to this? Some of them I'll answer if I have free time. Most of them I don't answer, you guys, simply because I want you guys to do the research and do the homework yourself. And I'll tell you right now, and I've said this many times, I've already drawn the line in the sand with any company out there. If somebody can find something better than the one, you know what? Then I'm going to change my formula and beat them again. That's just how competitive I am. I'm not going to be satisfied. But right now I am satisfied because we're the best. The one is the best nutritional, whole food nutritional supplement out there on the market. Thank you for your time today. Be sure to get online and register for our conventions. If you don't know how to do that, just go to your back office or go to the website as if you were ordering a product. The convention tickets are there as if you were to order a product. So you just click on that, click on the convention that you want to go to, and get yourself registered. And point of fact, we also need to know if you're bringing guests. Now, you don't have to pay for guests, and guests don't have to pay. Okay? Guests are free, but we need to know their names and who you're bringing and how many you're bringing. All right? It's super important for us to know that information. So, thank you for joining me tonight. I will see you all next week. And this will be my topic. And this will be my topic. And this will be my topic. So if you're curious as to what these are on our packaging, then join me next week for another session of In the Labs with Dr. Tracy Gibbs. Have a great evening. Good night.